Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being well-informed. Today we're plunging into something that's, well, everywhere. AI. It's kind of amazing how quickly it's woven itself into, everything.
It really is. From what shows up on your streaming service to the unseen systems running critical infrastructure, it's become deeply ingrained almost overnight, it feels like.
Totally. And with this, explosion in innovation, there's this massive question hanging in the air, isn't there?
There is. Are we actually keeping pace? Are we making sure these incredibly powerful AI systems are genuinely secure, reliable, and maybe most importantly, aligned with human values?
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. We're looking at a brand new framework aimed squarely at that challenge. The OWASP AI Maturity Assessment, AIMA for short, version 1.0 just dropped August 11, 2025.
And this isn't just theory, right? It's meant to be a practical guide, a blueprint, really, for organizations trying to build AI responsibly.
Yeah, think of it as the shortcut to understanding how to build trustworthy AI. So today we'll unpack why we even need a new model specifically for AI.
What APA brings to the table that's different. We'll look at its 8 core assessment domains.
And crucially, how you as an organization or even just an interested individual can understand how it helps make AI safer and more reliable in the real world.
Right. Let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first. Why the urgency? Why AIMA now? Why don't our, existing ways of handling software security just work for AI?
Well, the stakes are just incredibly high now. AI isn't just a lab experiment anymore. It's in product, services, critical infrastructure. There's way more public scrutiny, evolving regulations.
It feels different.
It is different. Now, for folks familiar with software security history, this might ring a bell. Remember OWASP SAM back in 2008?
Oh, yeah, that was huge for getting security baked into traditional software development.
Exactly. It helped mature the industry. We're sort of at a similar point with AI, but the underlying technology presents fundamentally unique challenges. AI isn't just more complex software, it behaves differently.
Okay, so what are those key differences? What makes AI so tricky that old models fall short?
AIMA really highlights 4 main things. First, there's non-deterministic behavior. Meaning, unlike traditional code, which, given the same input usually produces the same output, AI can be variable. Its outputs can change based on new data, context. It's not always a straight line from A to B.
Like a self-driving car taking a slightly different route sometimes?
Precisely. And maybe without a super clear, auditable reason why. That variability makes things like testing and auditing, well, a lot harder.
I get bugging must be interesting. Okay, what's next?
Second, opaque decision logic. The infamous black box problem.
Ah, yes, we hear that a lot.
And it's a real issue. For many AI models, it's incredibly difficult, sometimes almost impossible, to fully understand why it made a specific decision.
And that's not just a tech headache, is it?
Not at all. It raises huge regulatory flags, ethical questions, reputational risks. Imagine an AI denying a loan or contributing to a medical diagnosis. You need to know why. AIMO pushes for measurable insights here.
Okay, so it's demanding we understand the why, not just the what. Big shift. What's number 3?
Data-centric vulnerabilities. This is critical. An AI is only as good or as secure or as fair as the data it learns from.
Right. Garbage in, garbage out, but amplified.
Exactly. And the attack surface is massive and shifts upstream. Think about adversarial attacks subtly manipulating the input data to fool the AI, or data poisoning corrupting the training data itself.
Wow, so the system could be compromised before you even deploy the model just through the data.
Absolutely. It can happen silently, way before the code runs. It fundamentally changes where you need to focus your security efforts.
That really reframes the problem. Okay, and the last one.
Dynamic risk surfaces. AI systems aren't static. They're often designed to learn and adapt over time.
Which sounds good, but
But it means their threat landscape is constantly changing. New vulnerabilities can emerge as the model evolves. So you can't just do a one-time security check. You need continuous assurance, ongoing monitoring.
Okay, that makes sense. Non-deterministic, opaque, data-centric, dynamic.
Yeah, you can see why older models like CMMI or even the original SAM just weren't built for this.
They simply weren't. They lacked the focus on data integrity, explainability, continuous learning assurance, fairness, these core AI concepts.
So how does AIMA bridge that gap? What's its approach?
It works by translating those abstract goals, fairness, robustness, transparency, into concrete, measurable activities and outcomes. It gives you an actionable framework.
Actionable is key.
It provides this structured, risk-based model integrating security, privacy, ethics, the whole lifecycle management, specifically for AI systems. It helps you spot the gaps and manage those unique risks we just talked about.
And for organizations trying to navigate this, trying to figure out their specific AI risks and maturity level against these new kinds of threats, that's where external assessments can really help, right? Definitely. Having a structured way to assess your posture is vital. Tools and services, like those offered by www.airriskcasts.com, can provide that methodical approach, guiding you through identifying and managing AI-specific risks based on frameworks like AI.
And AI itself is open source.
Yes, and that's a big plus. It's community-driven, not proprietary. It's designed to evolve based on real-world feedback and the changing AI landscape. That collaboration is crucial in such a fast-moving field.
Totally agree. Okay, so we see the need. Now let's get into the blueprint itself. You mentioned 8 core domains. Can you walk us through those? What ground do they cover?
Sure. AI aims for a really holistic view, covering the entire AI system lifecycle. These 8 domains work together.
Okay, let's hear them.
First up, responsible AI principles. This isn't just about function, it's the ethical foundation. Fairness, transparency, accountability, societal impact. Embedding those values right into the engineering process.
Ethics meets code. Got it.
Second, governance. This is about the strategy, the policies, the training, the oversight needed to manage AI risks effectively. Think about navigating things like the EU AI Act or the NIST AI RMF governance sets the direction.
Makes sense. High-level guidance.
Third, data management. We touched on this. It's fundamental. AI lives and dies by its data. So this covers data quality, accountability, secure training practices, and crucially preventing bias baked into the data.
Right. That upstream focus again.
Fourth, privacy. Protecting personal and sensitive information. AI emphasizes things like data minimization, only collect what you need, and purpose limitation, only use it for that stated need, and building privacy by design from the very start.
Proactive privacy, not an afterthought. Okay.
Fifth is design. This is about architecting the AI system with security and ethics in mind from day one. How do you design it to resist adversarial attacks? How do you build in explainability features early on?
Thinking about security before you even write the code.
Exactly. Sixth, implementation. This is where the rubber meets the road during development. It includes things like secure build, focusing on data hygiene, validating your software supply chain.
Checking your ingredients, basically.
Yeah. And secure deployment, handling things like model drift, ensuring resilience in production, and solid defect management for AI-specific bugs.
This sounds like where strong DevSecOps practices become critical.
Absolutely. Integrating security seamlessly into that build and deploy pipeline is key. Platforms and expertise, like you find with devsecops.vibehack.dev and www.vibehack.dev, are essential for actually automating and embedding these secure implementation practices effectively.
Okay, 7th domain.
Verification. This is about specialized testing for AI. It's not just standard QA. It includes things like adversarial testing, actively trying to fool or break the AI, and requirement-based testing to ensure it meets its specific ethical and functional goals.
Stress testing the AI's brain, in a way.
Kind of, yeah. And finally, 8th is operations, keeping the AI system secure after it's deployed. This covers incident management, how you respond quickly to AI-specific problems, and event management, proactively monitoring for weird behavior or anomalies.
Wow. Okay. That really is end-to-end, from the ethical principles all the way to keeping it running safely.
It's designed to be comprehensive.
And you mentioned a 2 streams concept within each domain. How does that work?
Right. For each of those 8 domains, AIMA has 2 parallel streams. Create and promote is about, what you actually build, the policies, the practices, the controls.
Well, what?
And measure and improve is about how you track effectiveness, gather metrics, and refine those practices over time. The how well.
Ah, okay. So you build it, then you measure and tune it.
Exactly. It encourages continuous, incremental improvement, which is much more manageable than trying to fix everything at once.
That makes a lot of sense. It feels less overwhelming. Okay, let's zoom in a bit more. You said AIMA helps ensure organizations don't just, tick regulatory boxes, but actually build ethical AI. How does that play out in practice? Let's take responsible AI principles.
Okay, yeah, let's look at that one. Under responsible AI principles, you have practices like ethical values and societal impact. This is really about the fundamental alignment.
What does that mean practically?
It means actively considering, does this AI serve human well-being? Does it respect human rights? Does it comply with the law? Does it consider environmental impact? It forces you, the builder or user, to grapple with the real-world consequences, not just the technical function. AIMA provides a structure to assess how well you're doing that.
So it's prompting those deeper questions. What about the black box issue? How does AI tackle transparency?
That's covered under transparency and explainability. And AIMA insists this can't just be a vague goal. It demands meaningful insights into why the AI makes the decisions it does.
Meaningful how?
Meaningful enough so that stakeholders, users, auditors, developers can understand, trust, and, importantly, challenge the outcomes if needed. Think about healthcare or finance again. You absolutely need that ability. AM pushes for measurable ways to provide that clarity.
Moving it from a buzzword to a requirement. Got it. And the big one, fairness and bias. How does AM approach preventing AI discrimination?
It requires a really proactive stance. Organizations need processes to identify potential biases, whether they come from the data, the algorithm, or human choices. Then they need to mitigate those biases.
And it's not a one-time fix, is it?
Definitely not. It demands continuous monitoring because bias can creep in or shift over time. AIMA makes it clear this isn't just a technical task. It needs clear roles, clear policies, ongoing training. It's an organizational commitment.
And managing that kind of complex, ongoing, risk-identifying bias, assessing mitigation effectiveness, that seems like another area where dedicated risk assessment tools would be crucial.
Absolutely. Understanding and quantifying fairness risks, tracking mitigation efforts. That's exactly the kind of capability that specialized platforms like www.airriskassess.com are designed to provide, helping organizations operationalize these AIMA principles.
Okay, that paints a clearer picture of the ethical core. What about data management? You said it's fundamental.
It really is. Under data management, take data quality and integrity. AIMA hammers home. AI models are only as good as the data they are trained on. Simple as that.
So what does good quality mean here?
It means actively working to prevent biases in the data, ensuring accuracy, checking for compliance issues like privacy violations baked into the dataset right from the start. It's foundational hygiene.
And the training data itself.
That falls under data training. This covers the secure and responsible sourcing, collection, and curation of those datasets, especially vital for, say, large language models or agentic AI.
Why especially for them?
Because the risks are amplified. Things like hallucinations, where the LLM just makes stuff up, or model drift, where its performance degrades because the real-world data changes. These are often linked back to issues in the training data or how it was curated. AIMA forces you to be rigorous about that process.
Building on a solid foundation makes sense. And you mentioned AIMA uses 3 maturity levels for all these practices. Can you briefly explain those?
Sure, it's a progression. Level 1 is basically informal or ad hoc. Practices might exist, but they're inconsistent, reactive, maybe undocumented.
Okay, starting point.
Level 2 is structured and defined. Now you have documented policies and processes. They're applied more consistently. People are trained. It's more proactive.
Getting organized.
And level 3 is fully integrated, automated, and continuously improved. Practices are deeply embedded, often automated, part of the culture, and there's active measurement and refinement happening all the time.
The gold standard.
Right. And this 1, 2, 3 progression gives organizations that clear roadmap. You can see where you are and what the next steps look like to improve incrementally.
That seems very practical. Okay, let's shift to actually using AIMA. You said it's an assessment tool, not just a document. How does an organization apply it?
There are basically 2 main ways AIMA suggests you can do an assessment. First is the lightweight assessment.
Sounds quick.
It is. It uses worksheets with yes/no questions for each practice at each maturity level. You go through, answer the questions for, say, governance practices.
And see how far you get.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe you meet all the level 1 criteria for strategy and metrics, and maybe 2 out of the 3 criteria for level 2.
So that would be scored.
That would be a level 1 plus score for that practice. The II plus one indicates you're making partial progress towards the next level. It's a really useful way to get a quick, high-level view and spot obvious gaps. Great for a rapid self-check.
I like that. OI plus progress. It acknowledges progress without demanding perfection at each stage. Okay, what's the other style?
The detailed assessment. This starts with the same questionnaire, but then adds verification and evidence gathering.
Digging deeper.
Exactly. So if the questionnaire says you conduct regular AI model risk assessments, a level 2 activity, the detailed assessment involves actually checking, looking at project documents, interviewing people, confirming those assessments are happening and are of decent quality.
Proof, not just claims.
Right. And it also uses AIMA's suggested success metrics to collect actual data. Are your practices achieving the intended outcomes? This gives you much higher confidence in your maturity rating. It tells you what's really in place.
So the lightweight gives you a quick snapshot, the detailed gives you verified confidence.
No CISO.
And using either approach helps organizations visualize their maturity, pinpoint weaknesses, and have like a fact-based conversation about where to invest next.
That's the goal. It provides the data to align responsible AI efforts with business objectives. And again, understanding those specific weaknesses is where targeted assessment support, like from www.airiskassist.com, can help prioritize actions.
And once you know where to improve, particularly in implementation,
Then leveraging robust DevSecOps frameworks and tools, maybe like those from devsecops.vibehack.dev or www.vibehack.dev, becomes crucial for actually building those stronger, more secure practices into your day-to-day development and operations. It connects the assessment findings to real-world changes.
it closes the loop. Assessment, identification, implementation, improvement.
That's the cycle AIMA encourages, continuous improvement based on evidence.
Okay, well that brings us towards the end of our deep dive into the OWASP AI Maturity Assessment. We've really covered a lot of ground, why it's needed, its core structure, how it gets practical.
Yeah, it's clear AIMA plays a critical role in bringing much-needed structure and accountability to this incredibly fast-moving field of AI. It's about moving beyond ad hoc efforts to building secure, ethical, trustworthy systems methodically.
From the ground up, embedding it right from the start and keeping it going.
The framework gives you that clear roadmap, those detailed practices, the maturity levels. It's a guide for any organization serious about responsible AI. It emphasizes not just what you do, but how you measure it and get better.
So here's maybe the final thought, the provocative bit for you, our listener, to take away. As these AI systems get more powerful, more autonomous, influencing critical decisions everywhere,
Which they are, daily.
the key question isn't just if your AI is innovative or smart. The real question, the one AI helps you frame and answer is, how mature is its trustworthiness?
And based on that answer, what's your next step? How do you ensure the AI you use or the AI you build isn't just clever, but genuinely responsible?
Something to think about. Consider what this framework means for the AI in your life, in your work.
This conversation is vital, and AI provides a really valuable, structured language for having it.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you for joining us on the Deep Dive. We'll be back soon with another essential topic.